Welcome to the ASOTV podcast of the 50th anniversary special of Doctor Who, The Day of the Doctor. I'm your host, Omikins. Today we have Rachel.
Hi.
Cleo.
Hi.
Dom.
How's it going?
And Night Chicken.
Hello.
So, what did everyone think about this episode?
Holy
That
wibbly
was
wobbly, man.
amazing.
It was really stupid good. Loved it.
Good.
I have no clue what happened. I'm
They
not
just
kidding.
were all over time and space, and you were completely lost.
Did you all watch?
Just to preface this, I have never, ever seen Doctor Who before this episode. This is the first episode I watched, so I mean, if I was gonna start the series somewhere, this is probably a good place to jump in, right?
It's right there.
Yeah.
Right there, yeah.
Okay, that's crazy.
Take
So-
all the feels from the last few episodes, last few seasons, and cram them all into one episode. That's what I got.
Fun.
Yeah. Did you guys watch the Night of the Doctor 10-minute special?
Yes,
Yes.
I didn't.
Yes.
I did. And I finally
No.
showed the 8th regeneration.
Yes, that was super cool.
So we're gonna start with why do you think they chose Rose, Bad Wolf Rose, as the interface for that most dangerous weapon in the universe?
She's always been Bad Wolf, so I'm just guessing that's just what it was.
Well, no, she said she chose her form because she saw into the Doctor's mind.
Yeah, it's
And
his
so-
future.
Rose is something. Not only Rose, but she's not only Rose, but she's the TARDIS as Bad Wolf. So
Mhm.
she's two of the most important things in the Doctor's very, very long life, and that's probably just a face that he doesn't know yet,
No.
but that would be easy, I guess, on the eyes.
That was
Easier.
my thought.
Why was she the most important part of his life? This I don't know what's going on, so I need a little backstory here.
Rose was the first companion that the Doctor had after the Time War.
Okay.
So she sort of brings him from this PTSD soldier back to sort of whatever normalcy is for a Time Lord. Just
Normal.
Normal.
What is normal for a Time Lord?
I don't think we'll ever
don't
know.
know.
Psychotic.
Okay.
But and Bad Wolf was when Rose looks into the heart of the TARDIS, she sort of takes on the mind of the TARDIS. So the TARDIS is the most important thing in the Doctor's life, and Rose, he was in love with Rose. So those are two of the most important things in his life.
Got it.
She saved him, and she was just a big part of. She saved him more than just once.
But
Yeah.
she reveals herself to the War Doctor, who obviously hasn't experienced Rose in any form yet. So, how does that make any difference for him? It could have been just some random chick
Yeah.
saying the same thing.
Yeah, I don't think it really mattered to him. It was more when they brought the 10 back.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
the whole when
But-
he said, "Oh, Wolf, I could, Bad Wolf, I could kiss you," and she's like, "Oh,
But correct
That
me if
will
I'm
happen.
wrong. The older Doctor was the only one that saw her.
yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, technically, the older Doctor was the younger Doctor.
Yes.
Well, yes,
The War
I understand that. I mean, older as in present day.
Okay.
Older looking.
Oh, the older looking one is the
Right.
younger one in his lifetime.
Right, but not in present day Doctor's timeline. He's the older one.
The Doctor has one timeline.
Right.
Yeah, one.
So, the youngest looking one is actually the oldest one.
Right. No, I get
Dom's
that.
trying to confuse you.
No, I'm not.
Don't say that.
I'm really not.
Okay, can we just not?
I'm trying to not confuse myself.
Okay.
So let's
Alright.
go from one companion to the next and talk about Clara. I mean, she's spread all over the Doctor's timeline. She's spread out in in the future, in the way past, in the present. Who is she really to the Doctor other than this girl that's all over the place?
Well, she saves them. She keeps them safe. That's what happened when they went to Transalore. when he didn't want to. And she entered his time stream. She was there to keep him from the other guy from hurting him.
Mhm.
Okay.
She was
Clara
his
was-
protector.
She was the voice through the Fez portal.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
She was the brunette
Okay. Got it.
without the scarf.
Yes. Yes, without the scarf.
By the way,
I mean,
Cleo, you're wearing the Fez.
I am. I wear a fez now. Fezes are cool.
Did you get that out of a time stream?
I did actually.
Hmm.
And if by time stream you mean I cut it out and pinned it together 10 minutes ago, then yeah.
Hmm.
That's exactly what I meant by time stream.
So Clara doesn't mess anything up being part of different timelines. Like she's in the past, she's in the future, she's a Dalek at one point, and she's a school teacher in the present.
Well, I
Yeah,
mean that's her.
She did. I wouldn't say she doesn't mess anything up. She puts things back the way, because I can't remember his name, who went back before her to kill the doctor. He would have messed everything up. She just went there to stop him from doing it so nothing would change.
Yeah, and Clara would have that would have killed her, but I forget the doctor did something to save her.
Yeah.
But her spreading herself through his timeline would have killed her. But the doctor saved her, and so she's just Clara.
She's just a girl now.
Yeah, she's the one who you know.
No, they called her the impossible girl, but she's just his companion now.
So we kind of see it's the 10th Doctor. He's back in 1919 with Queen Elizabeth I, and he ends up getting married to her, but he's also married to River.
2 different times.
Well,
Different
we also-
times, but
we-
I
we
mean,
know-
he's aware that he's been married to both of these ladies.
yeah.
Well, once one dies, you can get remarried.
Well, no, we see that though, because when in the Shakespeare episode, when Queen Elizabeth comes in at the end and she's yelling at him, and the doctor's like, "Oh
Off
no,
with
we
his
have to get out of here."
She's like, off with his head. She was pissed.
Yeah. Well, he's also married to Marilyn Monroe.
Well, look
Yes,
at this.
that-
He's crazy.
Yeah. He accidentally married Marilyn Monroe, though. That was an accident.
But wouldn't going through like the past, like you have present day Doctor now going into the past and meeting Elizabeth again, wouldn't that stir up some kind of emotions? Like, how is he able to keep composure like that?
Well, I don't think he was
didn't have
in
any
love
feelings
with
for her.
Elizabeth.
No,
I think the only
he wasn't in love with her. He thought she was one of those suckers.
he accidentally proposed to her and then had to marry her as she was
He wanted to be king though.
No, he didn't.
No.
He was happy. He goes, I get to be king.
He
He's
didn't
like,
care.
I'll be right back, and then he never comes back.
He always never comes back. If
But-
he says, "I'll be right
Josh
back,"
wants to kill him.
okay. The first rule of the Doctor ever is the Doctor lies.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Back. Spoilers.
That seriously, the Doctor lies. Whether or not it's lie to save you some from something else, or lie to help him get out of something, he lies.
So in the past, they meet the Zygons, and they're putting themselves in paintings to preserve their timeline so they can come back and take over the world when it's, better.
I
do you
don't think they had a big. It wasn't. I mean, it was them, but I don't think it.
It was,
They
To
were just
me-
kind of like a side.
they were just kind of like, they didn't really have much to do in the 50th anniversary. The whole big to do was
We're not-
save Gallifrey from the Daleks.
Yeah.
But they couldn't have possibly figured that out unless the Zygons were part of it because of the paintings.
Mhm.
They were all in the same place. So, now that there's kind of a treaty going on between the Zygons and the humans, where do you think that storyline will go?
The what?
The Zygons and the humans.
Yeah.
They have a peace treaty now. Where do you think that's
No, it might come up later in the next season, but I don't think it's really going to show up too much. Usually ones in the specials, they don't show up too much in the regular seasons.
It seems like a pretty big thing. I mean, big time, English is setting up this treaty with the Zygons, an alien race, and they're going to be nice to each other. I think that
they set up lots of trees with lots of aliens. So,
are the aliens trying to share Earth with them?
I don't know.
We didn't really get to hear what the treaty was, though, right?
Yeah.
No, we don't know actually what the treaty was.
We just
It's
know
true.
it was fair, and they made sure it was fair
Yeah.
by confusing the crap out of everybody. But the girl with the scarf. Sorry, but I just don't know
Yeah.
names.
It's okay.
Um,
She's a new character.
She seemed her or her counterpart seemed to know which one was which because
They
of
did.
who held
The inhaler.
inhaler.
Yeah.
So do you think that's gonna play a role in future?
I just feel like they understood each other at that moment, and like that was that. It's just like, oh, we know, but we're still gonna go along with this,
They're still going to be nice to each other because
Thank
if
the
you
treaty.
don't get the inhaler, you're going to die.
Yeah.
And then everybody else is going to know. They're going to figure it out. Oh, well.
Yeah.
So we got Tom Baker. He is... His
The
role was
curator.
the curator. So was he a doctor in the past? Or in the future? In whatever freaking
Yeah.
timeline?
They did say he did say revisit old familiar faces or favorite faces. So that's another loophole where they could keep the series going. Was there no more regeneration, but you can go back and revisit your other faces.
Well, they had an interview with what's the guy's name, Moffat, and he basically completely laughed off the possibility of not having regenerations after this next one, because
Yeah.
it was like, oh well, if that's true, we're really going to have problems, aren't we? Basically just laughed it off, and right
There's-
there, that proves that we're going to have more regenerations.
Moffat tells you he's like the doctor. He tells you one thing and it's a lie half the time.
Yeah,
So yes, he's actually said a couple times in other interviews that this is not going to happen. It's for sure not going to happen, and then it ends up happening.
Yeah.
yeah.
Are this character or this monster is not going to be in the show? It's not going, and then it ends up being in the show.
Yeah.
So
Because the only time I ever remember that it's mentioned that there's a limited regenerations is the Doctor Who movie, The Eighth Doctor. That's the beginning bit. He actually says you get 13, regenerations,
Mhm.
and then that's it.
No,
But-
isn't that
but-
the Time Lords that monitor the
Yes.
amount of regenerations? And aren't the Time Lords all dead?
Not anymore.
well, we
Not
never
anymore.
thought we didn't know they were dead, but there's no one there to monitor him.
no,
It's
There's
a
no one-
monitoring thing. I always thought it was a genetics thing. You're born and you can then.
No, they basically. I talked to Q a lot about this, and from what I understand, what she's told me is that they basically said, okay, you can only have this many regens, because if you don't, they're just going to keep on living and living and
Oh,
And there's
living, and
Yeah.
they could continuously do it. So they kind of have to put a stop. Go, whoa,
yeah.
this is it, But now since they're not around, who's there to regulate that?
Yeah.
There's no one there.
Whoa.
To
One of
Okay.
the more interesting things from the past is somebody brought up this thing out of the classic series that says that the president of the Time Lords gets infinite regenerations, and the Doctor used to be president back in the past, and so they have already given him infinite regenerations way
Wait, when
back
was he
when.
president?
What was
When
that?
was he,
weird.
when was he
I don't
president?
know. That was one of the storylines somebody brought up online, was that he was
Yeah.
president of the Time Lords.
It's like
Was this
when-
in the original series or the
Yeah.
2005?
Classic.
series,
the original.
Classic.
the classic Who.
Well, I mean, all right. I've seen very little of Classic Who, but like I've
Yeah.
seen,
Because
few
very
episodes
little
of
people
Peacock.
have.
but
Stupid
At least as
BBC.
far as the first couple doctors, he's like banished to Earth. Like he's gotten some
Yeah.
sort of trouble that the Doctor always gets into, and he's gotta stay on Earth. Or that might be just the third Doctor.
Now, the classic Who is part of the Doctor Who lore still. They incorporated into the
Yes.
the
Yes.
show currently.
Yeah.
Because apparently
Yeah.
that's who we were all seeing at the end of the episode, I'm assuming.
He was the
Yeah,
fourth
those were all his other regenerations.
Mm-hmm.
That
And
was some
Tom
great
Baker-
CG work there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could totally tell the faces were glued on.
Yeah, and they had to do Eccleston's because he wasn't going to be a part
They
of
just
it.
they took a clip from a pre-existing episode. I was
Yeah.
like, I've seen
Yeah.
that before. Yay.
So, John Hurt as the War Doctor, does that make him? What number of Doctor does
Well,
that make him?
He's not a number
He's
doctor.
not a number.
He's
They
not a
don't.
number?
Doctors
Doctor.
don't. We only think of doctors as numbers. He doesn't count his own.
No, he doesn't. But
no,
to viewers, if they
Yeah.
want to put a number on him,
He's the
Is
war
he-
doctor.
he's
That's
the
his
war
name.
doctor.
he's just
He's
the War
8.5.
Doctor.
He's 8.5.
8.5. Okay.
So,
See,
but
that's,
yeah,
that's something
his name
people
is
can.
the war doctor.
How can you be a half a Doctor?
I
He didn't
have a
live very long.
The
regeneration.
same way.
Because that was that a poison that he took to in the night of the Doctor?
I don't know. It didn't say what it was. It was just something
It's
that
like
would
a potion.
something that would force his regen.
Yeah, but it was like a potion where he could choose what he looked like and what he was.
I
And
don't
so
know.
he chose to be a soldier.
I don't think they. Yeah, I don't think they really
it was-
elaborated what it was.
Yeah, just that it was a forced regen. So
Mhm.
it is sort of like a half. It's not a true regeneration. It's not
So-
random.
It does or does not count toward the number of regenerations that he had.
For us, I mean, it does count in terms of he's had this many regenerations, but it doesn't count in terms of numbering because it's an in between.
Yeah.
If you're
If it
a
counted-
person that has never watched Doctor Who before, and the easiest way to understand this is by putting numbers on them,
He's 8.5.
he's 8.5.
8.5.
Okay.
I don't understand that. The brain
Okay, okay.
brain
Dom's
hurts.
Dom's brain. Listen to me for a second.
Dom's brain.
I just don't understand how you could be half a person.
You're not half a person. It was an actual regeneration, and it was proper, but it falls out of the numbers because for so long we didn't know about it. The Doctor denied that being a proper, that being a proper
A
doctor.
proper doctor.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
even
he falls
even
out
he
the-
denounced the name doctor. He's like, I am not. No, I don't not deserving of the name doctor.
Yeah. So he falls out of the numbers, but he's still a regeneration.
So this is something that they retconned in.
Pretty much.
Basically.
When did
Or
they do this?
had it in mind because
Yeah.
we started off with the Ninth Doctor with Christopher Eccleston as sort of like, there's been this war. You don't have to know about that yet. That's sort of how they handled it. It's like,
Okay, so
I
this
can't
is-
talk about that. I just killed all my people.
This
Blah,
is
blah,
basically pre-reboot. I don't really want to call
Yes,
it a reboot,
blah.
but
That is reboot. At
Okay.
reboot, it was sort of like, I just had a war. You don't have to know.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
War Doctor is pre-reboot. Is my point.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yes. War
Okay.
Doctor is
The Time War is completely new Who. There was no mention of it ever in the classic series.
Right. So it falls
So-
in between classic
in
and
between 8
Yeah.
and 9.
reboot.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Which is
Okay.
why it's 8.5.
So it's still not a half though. It's an actual number. They just
Technically,
But
the
you
12th
can't- but
Doctor, Capaldi, is the 14th regeneration.
Yes.
okay.
If you're going to count them number-wise, Capaldi is the 14th regeneration, but he is the 12th Doctor
Okay.
because Tennant had 2 and the War Doctor.
Because you can't renumber them.
Yeah.
Like we're in too deep. You can't renumber.
No,
them.
no. You can renumber them.
No,
You just don't want to renumber them.
It-
Can we get this guy off? He's very difficult.
Wait, when the funny
It's
thing,
the
That's
truth,
true,
though.
though.
It's true. You can renumber them. It's just
Come on, maybe
the
we'll
Wait,
work on
the
it.
fans and everything, buddy. You
The
guys don't
funny
want
thing-
to because you're so set to these numbers.
hold
That's
on,
the truth of the
funniest
matter.
thing I saw on
Let's just work
Tumblr
on him.
when can I speak?
Yes.
The
go ahead.
funniest thing I saw on Tumblr when the War Doctor was sort of announced in like the last episode of last season was, the fans on Tumblr was like, wait, if he falls in between 8 and 9, then the numbers are off. My life is a lie.
Yeah,
But they
it's
gave him a
that's
name.
how
He doesn't have a,
people
a
react.
number. He has a name.
Yes.
he's considered the war doctor.
Yeah.
So he doesn't really have a number. He has a name.
People like
So
putting
he's
numbers to things. Though.
special. Yes, I know. You
I
can't
refuse
do
to
that.
call him 8.5.
You can't apply logic really to Doctor Who. So
Yes, you
It
can.
doesn't
a little
work.
bit, but
it don't work.
there's-
You'll hurt your brain if you try.
You can a little bit until you really have to suspend your disbelief,
Mhm.
and just
Well,
gotta.
you can
roll.
once you know the logic of the series, then you can. But
Yeah.
outside
Once
of
you,
it, no.
once you understand his Doctor Who's brain, you can understand it and go along with it. But
You know what, I don't
otherwise,
even
I
think
guarantee
Doctor Who
you-
understands Doctor Who's brain.
I guarantee you, because I do intend on going back now and watching things, but when I get the time, when I get the time, and I'm able to go through, I guarantee you, my point will still stand that there can't be a half Doctor.
No, that's
I'm
true.
not
yeah.
saying he's a half. I'm saying he's
No,
not a number.
No, I understand, but
Not
I'd
a-
still, in my mind, want to number him properly.
most people do, but he's not a number.
He
Sorry,
doesn't get a number.
he doesn't get a number. Damn it!
He's special.
I'm special.
Yes, you are. Tom.
Yes, you are.
So you're not number one.
He's number 2.
Anyway, I really loved how they handled the War Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I thought
Yes.
he was magnificent.
Wow.
I loved the actor. John Hurt
He
was
cracks
amazing.
me up.
He was
He-
great.
So
So
funny.
is this the first time we've actually seen that Doctor at all,
Yes.
or have we seen him
Yes.
during
No.
flashbacks or anything?
We saw his face. I don't think he
Yeah,
said
when to Transalore and she was inside the Doctor's brain, she
So
saw
the-
him.
the episode previous to this one.
To this
we saw
one,
him
yes.
for 5 seconds,
Okay.
Hmm.
and it was like John Hurt as the Doctor.
Yeah, and they were like, "No, we have to wait till November." Are you
Yeah.
fucking
Yes.
kidding me? Yes, there was rage, all sorts of rage.
Very
I
much.
can imagine so.
It's like rage for every other series that goes on break like that.
Yeah.
Now we have to wait for December.
Yeah,
December 25th. It's not so far from now.
it is
I
not.
know.
It's coming.
And they
Days.
confirmed that it is December 25th at 9 p.m. Eastern on BBC America.
Excellent.
Is this one
Awesome.
also going to be in theaters?
Probably not.
Yeah,
It's
probably
Christmas Day. Who wants to go to
Christmas
the
Day.
theaters
not.
on?
They usually
I know
Well,
people
you
that do.
they do the
There are
whole
people who
theater
do,
thing
yes.
for like season premieres, and they did the theater thing because this is the 50th anniversary episode. They've never done it for a Christmas episode before,
No.
so probably not, especially so soon after the one they just did.
Yeah,
So it's been confirmed that on the Christmas special, Peter Capaldi is gonna come, and he's gonna be the new Doctor. What do you think about the choice?
I like him.
Because
I
I
like him.
personally think he doesn't fit. I look at him and I go, no, it doesn't work.
Well, I mean, this is the first Doctor that has been his face has been released before he's regenerated.
Was he in this episode?
Yeah, he was.
For a very
Yes.
brief second, he came in and said he was like the 13th
His eyes.
Doctor or whatever.
Yeah.
His
It-
eyes
it
were.
was-
Yeah.
It was like, all 12 of them are here. And then
He goes,
Peter
"No,
Capaldi came out and was like, no, 13.
Yeah, so that
So
That was
all the
him.
eyes.
that's what I assumed because I've seen the screenshots of the guy online and,
Yeah.
and whatnot. So I kind of knew, and then I was like, wait, I thought this guy wasn't introduced yet. So apparently I
No.
was right. So
yeah, right.
how did they work that into the story? How I like.
How do regens work?
No,
I mean,
I understand that. I'm saying, how did they work him coming into the timeline that they're in right
They
now?
pulled every Doctor from his entire time stream up to that point into that.
Mhm.
So
But he doesn't
it's not
exist
a
yet.
stretch. Yeah, but they went into the
But
future and
it's
grabbed
time.
him.
So why don't they keep going into the future? Why weren't there Doctor
Because-
15, 16, 17, 18, 19?
Because they don't know who those are casted yet.
Aha!
Not plot-wise.
Uh-huh.
This is how it works.
Let's get.
It
Let's
just had them kind of introducing him more.
Yeah,
They're
I'm
actually-
gonna address what Omi said because she said he doesn't look like he's a fit, and this is the first time we've seen the face of the Doctor before we've heard him speak and seen
This
him
is true.
act. This is
Yeah.
the first time they've shown his face before he's been in an episode. So I
Actually,
think
he has been in an episode. He was in Pompeii.
Yeah.
that doesn't count.
He was in
And-
Pompeii. He was still in an episode.
I don't
Well,
know.
And then
And they
people
said
were
they're
all-
going to work that into the story
Before we've
too.
seen him play the
Same
Doctor.
with same with Amy. Amy was in that episode too.
What,
Yeah,
what
but-
was this Pompeii episode?
Face.
The
10.
fires of
Doctor.
Pompeii.
Yes. This was Donna.
No, that doesn't count because we saw him as a different character. We didn't see him as.
How do you know?
Oh my god, my mind is blown.
He could be lying. Could be
He got
lying about
saved.
being that character.
Doctor always
He
says-
got saved.
Yes, they said
Oh,
they're going to work it
goodness.
into the story too.
Anyway,
I think I just broke your brain. I'm sorry.
No.
no, you didn't. I'm just pissed off. No.
Well, one of the things I like best about it is they said they're actually planning the Peter Capaldi Doctor for a very long run, like 5 to 10 years long.
Years.
Like-
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, like how we've been switching doctors like every year or two now, like 9, 10,
Well,
11. They're
Matt
actually
was the
planning
been
on
on
this.
for 3 years. Hasn't he been on for 3 seasons?
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's say this is going to be like long term, like 5, 6 years at the least.
So
They're saying.
in a season comparison would be like 3 seasons, 4 seasons.
Yeah.
Who was the longest Doctor? Was it 10? Was it 4? Was the longest?
I want to say yes.
4
But I'm
lasted a long time.
Yeah, he did. I'm actually not sure. I haven't seen enough of those episodes.
Well, you're not going to see a lot of them. You can go because BBC idiots taped over the master tapes because they
Wow.
didn't think it would. They didn't think it would go anywhere, so they taped
Well,
over the old ones. So you
back
can find some of them.
Back then, reruns were rare. If you got a rerun, you were super awesome.
And you can find
So-
some of them on Netflix.
On Netflix,
Yeah.
I was just gonna say there are some.
I mean, I've seen some of them on Netflix, but
Yeah,
they're
But
not
they're not going to be in consecutive order because some
exactly.
of them are
That's
missing.
the thing I have a problem with because I keep switching around. I'm like, I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
But
It
Comcast
can-
So,
Comcast only has the new series, right?
Yeah.
On demand.
Yeah.
They don't have any of the old one.
No, they won't have old ones on
No.
demand. It'll just be it'll be modern new.
And I've talked to people about this, and they said the reason why they don't have the classic series as much as they want is because they didn't do the contracts correctly back then, and so
Yeah.
to air a old episode, they actually have to go back and get authorization from every person that worked on that episode. Whereas now
Wow.
they work under a blanket agreement saying if you work on this show, we have the rights to it. Back
Yeah,
then they
you-
didn't do that.
So in like
Forward rights to
in
these
like
people.
20 years when all those people are dead, you could just air it all you want.
Yeah,
20 years.
because the copyright will
Well-
expire on it.
Yeah, and it'll pass to I guess BBC or something.
Then
Well,
then you'll
and-
start seeing official DVDs coming out of the woodworks.
Yeah.
That'd be
Yes.
nice. Unfortunately, those people will
Well,
be
at
dead.
least now the BBC's not going to tape
We
over
will
them,
be
replace them.
dead.
We,
No,
we
like-
could just have the doctor go into the future and get these DVDs for us.
No. I said it'd be great that we'd see these episodes, but it would be unfortunate because all those people would be dead.
This is true. Okay.
And we are not condoning the fact that you should go out there and kill all these people off right now. Don't do that. That's wrong.
Yeah.
Do that. That's bad. So bad.
Bad.
Oh goodness. So when the doctor went to Trenzalore, Clara saved him, and he mentioned that he had to go back.
To Trenzalore?
Yes. And I think it was the 10th doctor who was like, I don't want to. I don't even know why, but I don't want to go back.
So
So-
I don't want to go. He always says
Yeah.
that.
I don't want to go.
Oh, that made me so sad.
I know.
Those words again.
I was like, no. Why? Why you do that to me?
So
That was fan service.
are we gonna
It
see
really
this?
was, though.
Are we gonna see Trenzalore again? Is the new doctor gonna have to go back there and something's gonna happen?
Is
Not
I'm
for a
assuming
long time.
Trenzalore is a bad place.
It's the final
Trenzalore,
resting place.
Final
Yes.
resting place of the doctor.
and as a
This is
time
Vagar.
traveler, that's the one place you can never go is your grave.
Mm-hmm.
Time locked.
Yeah. Well, he went. He did it. But the prophecy is at the fields of Trenzalore, the fall of the 11th, the one thing that should never be spoken is going to be spoken, which is his name. So either we learned his name or somebody else learns his name at Trenzalore, and that hasn't happened yet. So he has to go back to Trenzalore.
Yeah. The only
And
person that knew his name was River.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
we haven't seen her learn his name yet.
Actually, when they got married, he whispered something to her ear, so I think that's what they. when he
No,
told her
no.
this.
He whispered, "Look in my eyes," and then she saw
No.
that he was the no, he didn't tell her
Yes.
his name.
At the wedding.
Yes, no, I know what you're talking about. He doesn't tell her his name there. That's not what he says.
Hmm.
He lies. He did not tell her his name. He told her, look in his eyes, that he's not the doctor, he's the robot. That's what he tells her. And he lies to River. No, he lies to Amy and Rory and says, I told her my name, which isn't what he said.
Well, there's a point where he does tell her name. I don't know. When.
There is, but we haven't seen it yet.
It hasn't come about yet.
But I don't know if they're bringing her back or not.
River?
Yeah, I haven't heard that
I want
she's
to
coming
live-
back or not. She's dead.
River!
River's
Yeah,
died.
she's dead, but she's also a time traveler, just like the doctor. So she's
But we
seen
saw her
mul-
grave on Translator.
We did, but she's a time traveler, just like the doctor, and she's seen multiple faces of his, more than just two. So she's gotta come back. She's coming back.
You're like, she's got to go back.
She's gotta come back. It has to happen.
She will come back. I can see her coming back, and there'll be an episode like when they went to New York with all the Weeping Angels,
Yeah.
and hopefully it's not another Weeping Angel episode because that shit's creepy. But
But it's good.
it is good. But you will see her again. I'm pretty sure. I mean, they're not done with River. She's still gonna be a subject of and a source of the Doctor's emotions. And he doesn't really, let those out very often. So I totally foresee her coming about again. So there was a sort of talk about a spin-off. Do you guys have any ideas?
Well, if they were going to, not really a spin-off, but if they were going to go with the whole, he only has 13 regions and cut off Doctor Who, which I don't think they're going to do because it's a major
No.
moneymaker right now. They could do a spin-off with Susan, his granddaughter, because he left her in New York in the Crossix. He left her in New York. She could have made her way back to Gallifrey. She could be in that frozen state. Or she's still in London. We don't know. Or there's always Jenny.
Mm.
Granted, she said Georgia said that she wouldn't do it again, but she could have regened by now and could look like anything. Same with Susan.
But just keep in mind, just because a series is super popular doesn't mean that they won't end it. Look at Breaking
Oh, I
Bad,
know.
for example.
Well,
Yeah.
BBC is kind of weird. So.
Yeah.
And I feel like Moffat will definitely keep those wheels rolling as long as he can.
Mhm. Yeah, oh yeah. He will. There's loopholes. There's so many loopholes that
Yeah.
There's so many. I mean, the Doctor makes all those loopholes himself. So it's
Come
very
on.
easy to just start another storyline and go off from there.
I kind of hope that they maybe one time in the future do a spin-off with one of the girls. It'd be kind of cool.
A female Time Lord.
Oh,
Mhm.
totes.
Can the Doctor
You've
ever be
seen-
a female?
No.
Well, it's a possibility, but I
Oh.
don't think that it's in his personality to regenerate into a woman.
Yeah, biologically it is possible, but the likelihood of the character ever making it, no.
No.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be female.
Just like how the Doctor
It would
won't
be
ever
a
be American.
shock. It would be a shock to his system. Let's put it that way.
It would.
He would freak out.
But we do know of other Time Lords who are male and then regenerate into a female. It does happen.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's kind of like almost like their
It's
choice. You know?
Well, I think it's sort of just like who they are, just like sexual orientation is who a person is. And then that's just how their regenerations happen, because regens are random.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
it's based on their personality.
Kind of like when, the Doctor was hoping to be a redhead for
Yeah.
the longest time, and it never happens.
It's never gonna happen.
I like to see him as a ginger.
I would love to see him as Ginger. That'd be great.
There was a funny theory for the I know they're not going to do it, but they were saying for the Christmas episode, they want something like
He has a
the Doctor to regenerate into Rupert Grint,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
and then like for 5 seconds, like, yes, I'm a ginger, dead. regenerates into Peter Capaldi.
Oh. That'd be horrible.
That'd be really funny. Ever since he made the ginger joke, people have been saying Rupert Grint.
Well, I don't see him as the. I don't. I really don't.
It could. He's a good actor.
He is a good actor. It has nothing to do with it. It's just
But that's the thing. If like whoever your first Doctor was, whether it was Christopher Eccleston or
Tennant,
Matt, or Tennant,
Baker or whoever.
Yeah.
What if your first Doctor was the half Doctor?
Well,
then
he's
he's
your
special.
doctor, Dom. He's your doctor.
But if you saw the face of the next Doctor, you'd be like, "That's not the Doctor."
No,
No,
I could
you
see.
can't help
I
but
mean,
follow
I'm awaiting not hers. I am waiting Capoli's Doctor. I
Yeah.
want to see how his attitude is. I'm not, but I just can't see Rupert as
No,
the Doctor.
Yeah,
I'm so used to like Chris and David and Matt and how they just seem like they all look different, but they all seem the same to me. And I see Peter, and I'm like, it doesn't seem to match up.
Well, he has
But
gone from.
we need to see
older-
him.
If you've seen the first Doctor, he was old. He's gone old, young, then old again, and then young. It's just they wanted to bring someone else in that was older, and I can see him as a Doctor.
And we just have to wait to see how he acts. And he's obviously, since he's been cast
Yes.
already, he's gonna act like the Doctor,
Obviously,
new Doctor. But
I want to
have
see
a
his-
different
can't wait
little
for his
personality to her.
clothes, his- I can't wait.
and I'm really sad. Like the 11 has just adopted the glasses, and I'm like getting used to the glasses. And Tennant and Matt Smith had that moment with the glasses. And
Uh-huh.
now he's not gonna have the glasses anymore.
I don't know. I mean,
oh.
don't get me wrong. I like Matt Smith. I liked him as Doctor. I just never got attached to him
I'm so attached.
as I did with Christopher and Tennant.
yes.
I'm stupidly attached. He's a fucking great Doctor.
I mean, he's a good Doctor. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just not. I don't have the
Yeah.
attachment.
Mm.
But that's to be expected because you're always gonna find something in yourself into some character and be like, oh, and attach yourself to that.
So do you guys think we're going to see more of the War Doctor, or do you think this is it?
That's it.
I
That's
think
it.
That's it.
Probably it.
It's a bad thing. I mean, it's unfortunate because John Hurt is a really great actor.
Oh God, he cracked me up.
He's amazing. It seems unfortunate that we might maybe see a flash of him, but I don't think there's going to be an actual scene where he's strutting his stuff and being the Doctor again. But yeah, it'd be awesome to see him again, but I doubt it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But all three of them, they come together. We got John Hurt, we got Matt, we got David, and they save Gallifrey by sticking it in a painting, by putting it in a different dimension. Where do you think that dimension really is?
It's a really
Just a stasis.
good question.
Held a moment in time, as they
A
said.
moment in time.
It's just
I mean,
held.
that's also the question of where Gallifrey is, because
Yes.
Gallifrey is sort of out of time.
Mhm.
It's
Right.
its own.
It's in a little pocket somewhere. Someone just stuck
Yeah.
it in a little pocket, and it's
Yeah.
just there. And
Is
he
the
has to go find
Doctor-
it.
Is this Doctor gonna find the pocket?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
that's his
Oh, yeah?
whole. That was his whole thing is getting home.
Okay.
I mean, I would like to see Gallifrey. I would really love to see Gallifrey, but we've seen the Time Lords with the modern Doctor, and they were dicks.
yeah, they didn't like him one bit.
They were giant dicks, and
They were.
I'm not sure if finding Gallifrey is gonna be the best move. Like, it could cause more problems than good.
But he's
Yeah.
going to. He's going to try and find it.
Yeah. Maybe one day when he's ready.
When
Now-
they're ready.
Did them saving Gallifrey alter the timeline?
No,
Not
because
really.
they don't. No, because they don't remember. Because
Yeah.
everyone thinks that Gallifrey was destroyed.
Yeah.
Because there's no one to live to say that it didn't just destroy. Because when they basically bleeped Gallifrey out of the thing, Crossfire, Dialects killed each other.
But the current Doctor won't even remember that Gallifrey exists?
They still think that they once it happened and they went back into their own timelines, all the Doctors, they still have that mind that they destroyed everyone.
But isn't the
On
current
their
Doctor
planet.
still in his own timeline or no?
He is,
Well, that's-
but it's kind of complicated. They forget.
It's
Yeah.
another
That's
one of
right,
those
yeah.
loops.
But he's in his own timeline. How's he going to forget within his
Well,
own
Because
timeline?
When-
his past
when-
self forgets.
When he crossed over with he crossed over with the other Doctor's timelines, he sort of left his timeline. And when all three TARDISes were together, like when they left, I think that's when they all went back to their own timelines and sort of
They forgot.
that memory kind of creeped away.
So they were all in an alternate timeline?
Sort of.
Sort of.
Wibbly
Including the
wobbly.
present one. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Which timeline this
Yeah.
persisted in? Was it in a completely
It's-
alternate timeline,
I
or
think
was this
it's-
in present day timeline, present Doctor's
it's-
timeline?
It's a separate. I mean, a lot of the events that happen is in the current Doctor's timeline, but it is sort of separate because they do leave, and I'm pretty sure 11 does forget,
Mhm.
or at least it becomes
Just like
vague.
when they cured the whole thing about the Sonic working on a wood door. And he said it would take hundreds of years for it to even get the calculations.
Yeah, I thought that was
Well,
pretty
it
clever.
was-
I liked
it
it.
was still doing the calculations.
But now
you
it's
know?
gonna work on wood. They
It's
finally
work on wood.
wrapped that up.
Yep. So, so that's the same thing with their memory. Once the War Doctor goes back and 10 goes back, they have the memory of them killing the planet and everyone else. So that's their memory. They don't remember that they actually saved Gallifrey and put it in a little bucket.
No, I understand that. I was more talking about the current Doctor.
Yeah. I don't think he's gonna. Maybe something might flicker, but I don't.
The current Doctor didn't know until the curator came back and reminded him of that.
Oh,
And now, going forward, he will know
okay.
because he knows it worked. But
Yeah.
up until that exact point, he still thought he destroyed Gallifrey.
Yeah.
That curator.
The curator. I mean, I've never watched any of Baker's stuff, but I watched, clips in here, and he's out there.
Yeah, Baker's good. I like Baker.
You have to go watch the
But that-
the Five-ish Doctors, the one that
5?
no, it's not 5. It's a little thing that the Georgia Moffat's dad did
Oh.
with him and Sylvester and who else? I can't remember what other doctor it was. It's a little thing that they put it on site how they're going to get on the 50th anniversary.
Oh.
It was really funny. It was
Yeah.
it was really good.
You don't think the spin-off that they're talking about could be the War Era Doctor?
They're not going to do a spin-off. That's just a possibility that it's something that I thought of and other people have thought of, that if they did end Doctor Who, they could do a spin-off. It's
they've
it's
done.
not possible.
They've
I mean,
already
it's not like
done
in
2
Burn.
spin-offs.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So
we've had
another
Sarah
spin-off
Jane
is-
Adventures and Torchwood, so there's nothing
Yeah.
saying we can't do
So
another
they
spin-off
could
now.
do, yeah. But
Yeah,
there
so-
hasn't been any mention officially. It's kind of all speculation now.
Mm-hmm. So when
And
they
fans will
saved,
speculate.
Gallifrey, they put it in that pocket, and the Daleks exterminated each other in that huge. There's got to be Daleks otherwhere in the universe.
Oh yeah. Well, we know that there is, because there's Daleks that come back from that one that was in that collectors.
Yes,
I can't remember.
that's the only one that survived the Time War.
More. Mhm.
And then he made more, and that's why the Daleks keep coming back, because that one survived.
Mhm.
Okay, so
Yeah.
now that one is probably more than just that one. So they kind of
Well-
screwed things up there, maybe.
What do you mean?
Like
Because we've gone over all that.
the Time War didn't happen anymore. I mean, yeah, okay.
That
Were were people there to witness the Daleks exterminating each other? Was there anybody there to witness?
Well,
I mean,
that's- I
there's
mean,
probably a big amount of casualties among the Daleks, but I don't think there's just one anymore. There's probably
No, no,
a
no.
lot more.
No, it doesn't change the time. It doesn't
It
change what
doesn't.
happened.
Yeah, because
You sure?
the Daleks
Yeah.
kill each other completely, except for that one
That
that is
one.
the collectors, and that's the first Dalek that Christopher Eccleston's doctor meets.
Him and Rose. Yeah.
That one doctor, that one Dalek makes more Daleks, and that's the,
And then we've seen Daleks throughout 10 and 11. They're
so
out
that
there.
one,
So
the others.
basically, what you're saying is they didn't change anything.
No.
Because this is the way that it had always
Always
happened.
been. Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
That's a possibility. Or they could have actually changed it.
Well, it makes more sense that this would be the way it had always been because
I think it's
the
the way it's
painting,
always been.
the quote unquote painting, was there in the timeline already before they altered anything,
Right.
saying that it had to have already happened that way for this painting to exist.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So they didn't change anything. It's just always happened that way. You're just seeing it,
So-
how it happened.
Now, why was this event not time locked?
It was time locked because if that's how it happened before, then that's how it happens now, and that's how it's always going to happen.
But they were able to travel to it.
Well, they didn't travel to it intentionally. The moment brought them all into it. It's
Yeah,
you know,
and
a
it being
supernatural
time
force.
locked, doesn't mean you can't travel to it. It just means you can't change it. Like if you travel to it, you were always meant to travel to it. You just can't change anything. Or if you change anything, it won't.
You were always meant to change it.
Yes,
Right.
it won't make the outcome any different.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the classic sayings. Some things are fixed, some things are in flux. You can change some things, but other things you can't. That's one of those, rules of Doctor Who.
I don't know. They seem like they're breaking all the rules all the time
Right.
with that show. It just doesn't.
Well, there's
Seriously.
only one hard true rule of Doctor Who, and that's anything in the new series trumps anything from the old series.
Trumps it.
Yeah, anytime they have conflicts or overwrites, then the new series takes them from precedence over the old. That's the only rule they've actually said they have.
It seems like there's two different stories going on with the classic and the new, being that, 9. And, the War Doctor was, the one before Chris.
I was going to yell at you
So-
if you called him 8.5.
I made sure I didn't because I didn't want
I was trying to make it layman's terms. I'm sorry that I confused you more.
make.
Or
But,
acknowledged you. However.
It seems like a different timeline because, the war didn't happen in classic, but it did in the new, and so it seems like it's different. So I can
Because
understand why the new
the
one trumps
classic-
the old.
The classic, it hadn't happened yet.
Exactly.
So it happened in between 8 and 9.
See,
How
that
did
was a
Classic
long time.
end?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't
watch
know.
The night. It was it 1989 was the Eighth Doctor's movie.
It was 96.
96. I can't remember. I know it was in the 90s.
89 was
Yeah,
the end
90
of the series.
yeah.
There was a long time that they didn't even count the movie as part of the true canon
Yeah.
until it came out that yes, he is the Eighth Doctor. It is canon. That and then it kind of all bridged together.
Yeah.
I don't think they were even sure they were going to make a reboot until 2000 something.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even thought of at the time when Doctor Who ended the first time. It wasn't even thought of.
Yeah.
It's really so. The 50th anniversary isn't actually true 50 years on the air because it was canceled in '89 and not brought back until 2005.
Yeah.
So there's a big long gap there where it wasn't on TV, but
Right,
they were
but
still
it's
making
50
content.
it was still made 50 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah, they were still making content like radio shows and books and things like that. It just
It's
wasn't.
just not consecutive 50 years worth of
Yeah.
episodes.
It's 50 years of Doctor Who existing.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Before we end this, I'm going to ask, what do you think? What kind of alien do you think we're going to find or come across with the Christmas episode coming up?
Oh,
This
wait.
is always a problem
I
with
know.
the aliens.
I know.
Okay,
We're at least going to see the Cybermen because the promotional
Ocean has the
picture
head.
is Matt Smith holding the head of a Cyberman. So we're at least going to see the Cybermen.
Okay.
Probably more than just that.
Or,
Usually when Cybermen come, Daleks come, but
All the things come.
Yeah. Well, realistically, you see Cybermen, you start seeing Daleks coming in, and you're like, what? They like come together.
I would love to see like another Dalek Cyberman bitch fest again.
that
was
awesome.
hilarious.
Funniest set of dialogue ever.
That was hilarious.
You are
Well-
better at dying.
As
But
long
then again, she erased the Daleks' database for who he
Yeah.
was.
Yeah. Well, the Doctor's name was erased from most databases almost everywhere. So the Doctor's trying to lie low, but he's the Doctor.
I don't. Yeah, whether or
the
not they erased it from all the dialects, because they're like, "Who are you? We don't know you."
Get the hell off our ship.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly. Basically.
what
Because
if
the Doctor said he had gotten too loud.
what if Santa Claus is an alien?
Santa Claus has been in most of the Doctor Who Christmas specials. So, yeah.
Good point.
Get him out! 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 Out!
Have to bring back the Santa.
As
Santa's
long
everywhere,
as he's
isn't
not
he?
Peter Pan, we're fine with it.
No, Peter Pan's Prancer.
Yeah, because Torstein killed the
Oh, I'm
reindeer.
sorry. I'm sorry. How dare I get that wrong?
See, what you're going to find is that Santa will actually steal the TARDIS and end up in Wonderland, where he kidnaps Pan and takes him to Smallville, or whatever that other show is.
Smallville.
Not Smallville, but Supernatural.
Sorry
That's
for-
it. Yeah.
Oh, Supernatural.
Oh, super.
Supernatural's all over the states. So, what part of the states is the TARDIS taking him?
Kansas.
Where-
I mean, they're in
Wherever the
Kansas
two
now.
lead characters are.
Kansas.
We're not in Kansas
They're
City.
in Mystic Falls.
Oh, good.
Oh my god.
Combine all the shows.
Yes.
All of them.
All
That's
of
what-
them.
That's what BBC has to do to confuse everybody
Yeah.
even more.
No,
And then at some point, we're going to have that Doctor Who Sherlock crossover that everybody's been talking
Oh
about.
my god, I can't wait for Sherlock.
Super Hulak.
Super Sherlock.
Super Hulak.
as long as the alien isn't Jar Jar Binks, I'm happy.
Okay, I agree with that one.
I want to
See,
see
Jar
the
Jar Binks is
Santarans
Pan's
again.
dad.
Wait,
Huh?
Wait,
back on
what?
Doctor Who topic. I want to see the Santarans again.
Oh, they're awesome.
I love the Santarans.
Mm-hmm.
They're so funny.
Strax is still
we
there.
at least get
We
to
know
see
that.
what's his name.
So
What's his name?
The one with
Drax.
the lizard lady.
Oh, yeah.
Astra.
So let me ask you guys real quick. What happens to Gallifrey when they actually go visit it and it becomes unfrozen from time?
Don't know.
Is any time going to have gone by for them? Because they're frozen,
No.
so
No.
Probably not.
they're
No.
not even
I
going
don't
to realize
even-
they were frozen.
No.
No.
They're stuck in that one moment.
Except for the
Council.
general who the doctor talked to.
And,
Doctors talked to.
and the 13th Doctor also talked to him, right?
I
Yeah.
think
Briefly.
they all talked to him.
Briefly, yeah.
I don't think we'll know until it actually makes an appearance on the show.
So the Next Regeneration is when? The Christmas episode?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm not going to take it very well.
And then
Tell
it'll
you
be
that
another
now.
few
If
months.
any of the other
until-
shows that we've watched and the outcomes of those are any indication onto what happens when a character may die off,
Oh, yeah.
I will definitely be here for that one.
To see me just... No, I honestly...
Just
I
to
probably
see you
won't
burn in
devolve into
turmoil.
Fangirl.
Shit. I cried when Eccleston left. I cried when Rose and Ten got to split apart. I cried when Ten left.
I
I'm
mean,
like,
honestly, I would, but Doctor Who has that infamous, like, here's this really sad thing that you're going to start crying about, but then here's a joke. So
Yeah,
you
exactly.
automatically you will stop crying.
Have this joke.
yeah.
like when him and River at Transalore, they were
Yeah.
kissing, and it was like so touching, so romantic. And then he goes, "They can't see you."
Yes, that happens all the time, and I think
And
it's
you're like,
great because
why? Why did you ruin that?
It's not ruined. It
It's
just
just-
stops you from going over the edge
Yeah.
and just crying.
So,
But,
before we break out in tears from laughter, Rachel, where can they find you? Where can the viewers find you?
You can find me on Twitter at this right here.
Right there. Okay.
Savannah17.
Cleo.
You can find me at YouTube right here. And you can find me at these other lovely social media sites at Cleomoto.
Mm.
Yeah.
Dom.
You can find me on Twitter where I talk so much about Doctor Who.
Loads.
So much that it seems like not at all.
I know. PHENOMEDOM Phenomenon.
Phenomenon.
And Night Chicken. Where can they
Yay.
find you?
Let's see
Oh.
if I can get this thing to work.
I'm the only. Oh wait, no, I have one now.
Yeah, it's Squirrel Decker. No one can pronounce that, but yeah.
Willa Decker.
You can spell it out.
Yeah. Squirrel U Deck ER.
Okay.
Nice.
And you can all find me on Twitter as well at LadyVenom24.
What
Woohoo!
is this crap?
Dom is surrounded by lower thirds. He's very jealous.
And that.
The classy defect of Zol.
He's defective. That's what he is. We all have lower thirds. He's defective.
It's true. Sad but true.
You can find us all on, Twitter, Facebook, and that other place? YouTube. @/ASOTV podcast. And you can also send us emails to asotvpodcast@gmail.com.
Ooh, we're fancy now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Email.
And don't send us any nudes.
No, we don't
Send
want.
us all the nudes.
No.
Kilt
Definitely.
nudes.
Because I don't check the
Nudes
email.
and kilts.
Send us all the oods.
Yes, all the oods.
All the oods.
Love an ood. Oh my god, I want they sell like those crocheted little ood tentacle things with the little ball, crocheted ball. I want one.
That was probably the nastiest thing I've ever seen in a Doctor Who episode. Where that guy just coughed out his ood ball.
Oh yeah.
Till next week. See you later.
Yeah.
Bye.
Next week. There's not an episode next week.
And a month from now.
There are always
Loser.
episodes constantly.